everybody. This is Helen of Sunflower Cottage Crochet. For all of the recent new members that have joined the group, welcome. I am the face behind the logo, if you like, for Sunflower Cottage Crochet. And I'm joined today by Sandra from SandraStitches. Now, Sandra is a designer that we've kind of crossed paths quite a bit, haven't we, Sandra, in this business? We've done a few events together and some bits and pieces, but this is the first time that we've actually got to work together, which is really nice. I've really enjoyed getting to know you while we've been organising this.
Me too.
So the event that we're doing is the From Us to You event, which was named by somebody in the group. So yay! And the whole premise behind it is to help you fill your donation boxes in 2024. So twice a month on the 2nd and the 4th Wednesday of the month. That's right, isn't it, Sandra?
Yes.
We're going to offer you a free PDF pattern for 3 days. The pattern will always be free on the blog, and the pattern will be perfect for you to donate to anywhere local, basically, anywhere that you think could benefit. There isn't a specific place that you need to donate to. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it, aren't we, Sandra?
I think it's amazing. I think the idea that we are doing this event for donation and do some good into the world, that, as we all know, it's not in a very good place now. So it's always a great thing. And I think that the crochet community, as you said before, is such a giving community, because we hear so much about people that just crochet things for charities and for donations and, for the homeless and for pet places and all kind of things. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. This is my first time doing this kind of event, so I'm really excited about it.
Would you like to tell everybody a little bit about SandraStitches for those people in my group and on my social media that might not know or come across it before?
So thank you so much for having me here. I'm Sandra, and I am the face behind the SandraStitches. I'm based in Israel. This is why my English is not so, but I get by. It's fine. I don't care. People understand me anyway, so everything is fine. And if I don't know how to say something, they tell me. So I learn a new word every time I go live somewhere. So I am a crochet designer for I crochet since I was around 7, right? Because as always, and as many of us in the crochet community, I started, my mom taught me and everything, but I never really did anything about it until COVID. So when COVID hit the world and I found myself at home, obviously, I took my yarns and my hooks out and I started crocheting. And then I discovered, which I never knew about, I discovered this amazing whole world of crocheters around the globe on all ages, not just grandmas, but young people, men and women, and amazing stuff and amazing patterns. So I just got hooked, and that's it. And I started to crochet every day and all the time. And I think around 2 years ago, I decided to make it like official. And I started to design patterns and write patterns and publish them. So I have a shop in Ravelry, and I have a website, and I have a Facebook group, which is called Crochet and Stories with Sandra, because if there is something that I love most, is stories. and talking to people and hear their, their stories and everything. Yeah, my crochet designing is simple, not complicated patterns. Excuse me, I'm a little bit with the, yeah,
Sandra's suffering from a cold, so she's
yes,
persevering for us.
yeah, a little bit. I think of myself as a designer that I am the starting point for you as a crocheter. When I design a pattern, so it's kind of a starter point. I don't care if you don't do it exactly how I write it. I don't care if you don't count the exact stitches, as long as it inspires you and
Mhm,
makes you more creative, that's fine.
mhm,
So this is how I feel about my crocheting and my patterns. And they are usually very, very simple with a lot of texture. I love texture. I love to combine different stitches and
mhm,
different stitching patterns.
mhm.
So we make it a little
Well,
bit
you're quite a
unique.
colourful designer, aren't you?
What?
I said colours as well. You enjoy doing lots of bright, colourful designs.
Yeah, you can see here behind me a little bit. Yes, I use um, one color, I use variegated yarn, I use two colors. I usually use more than one color, but I have some pieces with just
Mhm.
one color.
Excellent. And
Mhm.
you've actually kicked off the From Us to You event with your arrows cowl. Now,
Yeah,
this is mine. I made mine last night.
yeah, amazing. I love the color so much. It's gray, right?
It is. It's a grey and an off-white I chose. But from what you've said, just to jump on board with that, I actually had issues matching your gauge. I just couldn't do it. I was nowhere near. So I used your stitch multiple to get the right circumference for my cowl.
Okay,
I think I ended up with 96. I had to double
okay,
it.
okay.
But it was a 6 millimeter hook and 5 weight yarn. And I've added one extra row of arrow stitches at the top and the bottom.
Mhm.
Just
That's
did my
completely fine with me. And I think some of the things that I always talk about when I go live in my group, and they know the people in my group, they know when you choose different yarns, different weight yarns, everybody has a different tension, right?
Mhm,
Yarn tension and the hook sizes and everything. So the gauge that I always write in the pattern, it's approximately just what I made, right? With my yarn and my tension and my hook size and my way of crocheting. And I don't think it's, of course, if you are making something to wear, like a
mhm.
sweater, so it's more important that you know and you make a real how do you say it?
Yes, again.
Swatch gauge, so you know exactly to calculate how many stitches you need. And I have a whole workshop about that. But if you're making a cowl or a scarf or something that it's, more free,
Mhm,
so I feel it's not so important. And I encourage my people always to be independent and creative and see and just, measure as you go and see how it looks and how you feel. Because every yarn, I think, acts differently according to how you are crocheting, right? Am I right? Do you feel the same?
yes, absolutely. And I think as well, it can come down to which country you're in, because I know a lot of the British yarns are very different from the American yarns at the
Sure.
same weights.
Yeah.
Um, But yes, it looks beautiful. Now, this one is an intermediate pattern, isn't it? But you do have video tutorials for how
Yes.
to do the arrow stitch.
Yes.
So
Yes.
confident beginners could give this one a go and maybe see.
Definitely. It's all about trebles. Okay, so I don't know if you're who is listening to us now are mostly British or Americans, but it doesn't matter. The pattern is written in US terms, so I will speak in US terms.
Mhm.
I put it as an intermediate because it's more than just single crochet and double crochet, but really it's just trebles together. That's it. Front post trebles together. That's all there is about it. So once you get the front post two trebles together, you're done with the stitch. But there is a video, for the tutorial for the stitch. So if you cannot follow the pattern, just watch the video. I go very, very slowly on each row of the pattern for the stitch. And then you can just watch it over and over again, and then you'll have it. But it's really not very complicated stitch.
Yeah, I think
It
once you
just sounds like, I think I say in the video already also that the front post treble two together is just a long name for just a stitch, right?
Yeah. Yes. But what I have noticed with this is that it's very tactile. It's very squishy, and I just want to
Very, yeah.
It's going to be lovely and warm. And I did use my scraps. I raided my scrap bucket for this one. So you can use your scraps for it as well.
Yeah.
So that
I
was
used a 5. I think the thing is that I got, because we are in Israel, and in Israel we don't have any yarn industry at all. So we have to buy from outside to import. And usually I buy from the UK. I have a place I buy from the UK or from Turkey. So this is the yarn that I used. It's called Kartupo. It's a Turkish yarn. It's called Kartupo. Now the Turkish yarns, they don't put the sign of which weight it is in the label. So you have to figure out, or maybe use the wrapper inch method to do it. But I think even though it says it's a 5 millimeter hook for crochet, I think it's more. I don't even have left, even not a little bit of it, because I use it all. But I think it's kind of between 4 and 5. More towards the 5, but between 4 and 5. So it's kind of between Aran and bulky weight, because it has a little bit of wool, this particular one. But of course, you can make it in any yarn. It doesn't really matter. This is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So it makes it a little bit kind of very warm.
Yes. Well, I put that yarn through Yarn Sub before I started my cowl.
Okay.
Came out and it said it was a 5 weight, which is chunky in the UK. And yeah, it looks
Great.
fabulous.
So what kind of yarn you used?
Honestly, I can't even remember what it was.
Because it was scrap.
I do know that it came originally from the US, because it was some skeins that Sarah, who used to do Sunflower with me, sent me to work.
Okay.
We used to swap yarns, so she would send me US yarns that I couldn't easily get, and I would send her some UK yarns, and this is some of that yarn. So I will ask Sarah if she remembers what it was called.
I just want to say about this pattern. The pattern is worked in rows, not in the round. And you just joined it. After you finish, you join the two sides. But of course, you can work it in the round. Maybe you will have to calculate the multiples for the round, less one or something. And you can make it, you can leave it open and make it longer. And it's a scarf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can be creative with it. It's just the idea of the pattern.
Yeah. Fabulous. So our challenge to you is to go and grab the pattern. I think I've popped the link to the roundup in the description there. So go and click on that. Make sure you get the pattern, because the PDF is only free until the end of tomorrow.
Yes, for 3 days.
It's free. So it'll be free until the end of tomorrow. And yes, then go and make it. And Antoinette, and sorry, I can't I can't think to pronounce your name properly. And
Antoinette.
Yes.
Okay, I don't see I don't see the comments, but probably Antoinette.
Very pretty pattern. I know I've kind of spoken to her about that one so far. Okay. But it is a pretty pattern, and it works up lovely. And once you've done the first couple of rows, it's fabulous. So our challenge to you is to grab the PDF pattern and make just one to pop into your donation box. Once you've done that, by all means, come into either of our Facebook groups. So you have mine, which is Sunflower Cottage Crochet Community, and
mine is Sandra, Crochet and Stories with Sandra.
Crochet and Stories with Sandra, and share them there. There'll be lots of people who are making them. If you've got any questions or issues, the Facebook groups are the place to be. Sandra and I are questions. Them. Yeah, so we can help you out. And if we're not around at that particular point in time, the groups are lovely and somebody will help.
Yes. And of course, we want to see all the different colors and different yarns that you use. And we want to appreciate you and get inspired by all the different projects that you share with us, these patterns, from this pattern.
Absolutely. So yes, so we hope you enjoy the event. This is the first pattern in the event. We're going to run until at least May. Once we get to May, we're going to see how you guys feel about it, whether you would like us to continue or not. But yes, we're going to have lots of fun along the way. So be sure to join the Facebook groups if you're on Facebook and have an account. But thank you very much for joining us today, Sandra.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm so excited to be doing this with you. It's going to be so much fun.
Sure.
So don't forget to check it out, guys. All the links you need are in the descriptions, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.